My name is Charles Millhouse, and I'm an independent writer. I have published 10 books in the science fiction, fantasy genres, and have been leaning more towards the pulp fiction, what's called new pulp now, for the past couple years. I live in the southeastern Ohio area, where I work as a personal chef. I work at a sorority at the local college, which is Ohio University. I create my characters loosely based on characters that I grew up with as a kid. Captain Hawklin, loosely based on Commando Cody, maybe the Rocketeer, a little bit of Indiana Jones thrown in. Jeremiah Talon from my Talon's Epic series, strong influence of John Carter is in that character, the stranger in the strange land. But I create my characters based on what I enjoy, on the genre that I enjoy. Or I may read about a real life person and base that person on my character, or I should say base my character on that real life person. Either someone from history, someone I've known, someone that's been a big influence on me, and that's where my characters derive from. Television was a strong influence on me when I grew up. I grew up with Star Trek, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, the science fiction shows, movies from the 50s like Forbidden Planet, and of course The Twilight Zone. And as I grew older and we moved further away from the city, we didn't get very good television reception. As a matter of fact, someone would be on the hill with the antenna turning the pole, while someone down at the house was yelling up at the person turning the pole when the picture came got tuned in. So I turned my attention toward comic books. I wasn't a very strong reader then. I struggled with reading, and comic books was a big influence. It helped me learn sentence structure and character development, and from those stories, I went on to read larger books. I discovered Dune in high school, written by Frank Herbert, and since then I've tried to read it every summer since high school. One of my favorite books. I just enjoy the political intrigue of the story and how everyone is stabbing everyone in the back. It's sort of like Game of Thrones is today by George R.R. Martin. But Dune has been a big influence. Frank Herbert, has his writing style has been a big influence on me. And of course, another writer was William F. Nolan. He wrote Logan's Run. There was a movie based on the book, but the book is so much better, although I do enjoy the movie. A writer can be very critical of himself. I'm sure every writer is. From the time you come up with the idea until the time you've said, okay, this book's ready for publication. Even in your heart, you know it could be a little bit better. Something could be added, something could be changed, something could be tweaked. Every writer does that. But when I get the book in my hand and I'm able to hold it and feel it and see the pages and the text and the cover, all my covers have been done by Charles Davenport, by the way. It's a big thrill for me. On the other hand, it's a little scary. People can be very harsh, especially today on the internet. People don't hold back on the internet. They sit at home or in their coffee shops or whatever behind their keyboard, and they can be as mean and spiteful as they want to be because you'll never see them. As far as you know, they're not even using their real name. So I don't read my reviews. Some reviews can be good, some reviews can be bad. I try to stay away from them because it's either going to work, reviews are going to work either way with me, and maybe with some writers. That when I read a review that's really good, my head's going to swell. And when it swells, I'm going to start thinking too big for my britches, as my mom would have said. And then if I read a bad review on the other side of the spectrum, and it's a 1-star, 2-star review, and the person's very harsh to me, it's going to bring me down. And the last thing I want to do is go over to my computer, sit down, and start writing. So I try to stay away from my reviews. Reviews are important, but not to me. They are to other readers, people who are potential buyers of my book. And I want people to leave reviews. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big boy. I mean, be constructive. Just don't say it sucks. But I do notice that I do have new reviews. I'll have a 5-star review, or I have a 2-star review. But I try not to read what that person wrote. It's because I don't want it to affect me as a writer and as a person.